Hello, accounting scholars. It's Carolyn Grimm with accountinghowto.com. I'm here today to give you some shortcuts for doing journal entries that everybody always comes across, usually chapter 2 in your financial accounting or principles of accounting textbook. So what I want to do is give you the shortcuts so that this makes it a lot easier to understand. So the first thing is every single transaction is going to fall into one of these three buckets. You sell something, you buy something, or the owner makes a change. They put money in or they take money out. So the first thing to do is to determine what's happened in that transaction. Did you buy something? You paid for your rent or you bought a vehicle? Or did you sell something? Your customer bought a product or a service from you, or did the owner put money in or take money out? Depending on which bucket, that will unleash the shortcuts for each one of those things. So let's tackle the owner bucket first, because there are always two transactions. The owner puts money in, the owner takes money out. So this is going to fall under the equity section on the accounting equation, which is so important. It's on my shirt. So we're falling into the equity section right now. So the first transaction is always the owner puts money into the business, and most textbooks now will say in exchange for common stock. So what's happening with the cash? That's the first thing we need to understand. Does the business now have more cash? Yes, the owner is putting money in. So that means that cash is increasing. Cash is what type of an account? Is it an asset, a liability, an equity, a revenue, or an expense? Well, cash is an asset. It's something that the business owns. So assets fall on the left side of the accounting equation. If it's on the left side, that's the debit side. Debit means left, credit means right. Don't confuse it with anything else. Debit is left. So if it is on the debit side, that means to increase the account, we need to debit it. So in our case, cash is increasing, so we want to debit it. So let's say the owner is putting in $10,000. So the business gets $10,000, and in exchange for that, what are we giving to this person putting money into the business? We're giving them some equity. So now we're on the equity side of the accounting equation. The equity side is on the credit side, the right side. So to increase common stock, our equity account, we want to credit it. So that's all that is with that transaction. We're increasing cash and the owner gets equity in exchange for that. So we're increasing equity. The second thing that you will always come across, and it's usually the last transaction of the batch, is that the owner takes money out of the business. So what they're taking out is equity. So the owner is decreasing their equity, the value in the business. And what is the business doing? The business is decreasing cash because we're giving it to the owner. So let's talk about cash first, because that's always a good place to start. What's happening with cash? Is it increasing or decreasing? Well, we have less cash, so we need to decrease it. We said that cash is on the asset debit side because it's an asset. And we said if it's on the debit side, we need to increase it with a debit. So we need to decrease it with a credit. So always come back to that cash piece because that will help you understand the transaction better. So we want to reduce cash. So we're going to credit it. That means in order for this journal entry to balance, and it always has to balance, debits have to equal credits to keep the accounting equation in equalness, if that's a word. So we need to put whatever the other account is on the debit side. So dividends is a weird account because dividends is an equity account, but it's called a contra equity account because what it's doing is it is decreasing our equity in the business. So we're going to use this account called dividends, a contra equity account. And the effect is going to be that we're going to keep our common stock amount at $10,000, but we're going to have this sub account for dividends that's going to show us the reduction in the owner's equity. So dividends is always going to be a debit because what we're doing is we're decreasing our equity. Equity increases on the credit side because it's on the credit side of the accounting equation, and we want to decrease it, so we've got to debit it. Okay, so that takes care of our two owner transactions. Now let's switch over to the buy bucket. Company buys something. So we need to know two things. We need to know what the company bought, and we need to know how the company paid for it. So we're either going to have an asset or an expense in that debit section. You buy an asset, like a vehicle, or you buy inventory, or you have an expense like rent expense or insurance expense. So that is always going to be your debit because the business is getting something of value. So we're going to debit that. The other side of the transaction is going to be how you paid for it. Did you pay for it with cash when you bought it? Are you going to pay for it in 30 days with accounts payable? Accounts payable keeps track of what you owe. Or is it going to be a note payable? So you bought a vehicle and you took out a vehicle loan on that with the bank. So that's the first part that we need to determine. So once we know that we bought something, we need to determine what it was we bought and how we paid for it. So let's look at those examples from those typical transactions that you'll see. If we have a transaction that says paid rent, that means cash left the building. Cash is an asset. Cash increases on the debit side and it decreases on the credit side. So in this case, when you pay your rent, your cash decreases. So when you pay for something, your cash goes down. So we need to credit that. So then we need to know what the other side of this transaction is. If cash is credited, we know to keep this in balance, we need to have a debit. So we said if you're buying an asset or you have an expense, it's going to go on the debit side. So in this case, we've got rent expense as a debit and cash as our credit. The second thing that will happen in those transactions is you're going to have one that says on account. Anytime it's on account, whether you're buying or selling, it means that cash hasn't changed hands yet. So if you bought something on account, you haven't paid for it yet. You need to keep track of what you owe. So we're going to stick that amount in accounts payable. Accounts payable because you have to pay it. Okay, don't confuse it with accounts receivable where you're going to receive money. So accounts payable is a liability. It is on the right-hand side of the accounting equation, the credit side. We now owe more money, so we're increasing our liability on the credit side. And what are we getting for that? In this transaction, we're getting inventory. Now, inventory is what type of an account? It is an asset. An asset's on the left side, the debit side of the accounting equation, and we get more of it. So we're going to increase our inventory by $10,000. Now that accounts payable piece will be another transaction and we'll get to that. Let's look at another transaction where we buy something. Let's purchase a truck. So what are we going to get? We're going to get a truck. And how are we going to pay for that truck is our next question. In this case, we're going to pay $10,000 in cash. Cash, asset, decreasing, got to be on the credit side. And we are also going to take on a note payable. So a note payable is a formal agreement, usually with a bank, where you say, I will pay you X amount of money each month towards the amount that I owe you. Okay, so we are increasing a liability. Anytime you see a payable, it is a liability. So a payable is on the right side of the accounting equation. Here's our liabilities. So we want to increase it by crediting it. So what we've got for this truck is we are getting a truck that is worth $40,000. And the way that we're paying for it is we're going to pay $10,000 in cash now, cash decreasing, and we have a note payable with our bank. So that's increasing. It's a liability. It's increasing on the credit side. And now we're going to keep track that we owe $10,000 in accounts payable and we have a $30,000 note payable. So those are items that will appear on our balance sheet. Yeah, I know, right? But we have a second set of transactions that will go along with these purchases. Because why? Because we haven't paid for them yet. So we still need to pay those bills. So let's say that we're going to pay for that inventory that we previously bought. We put that in accounts payable. Well, now it's time for us to pay for that. So what's going to happen when we pay for something? Cash is going to be involved, right? Because we paid. Anytime you see paid, it's cash. What's happening with our cash? When you pay your bills, do you have more cash or less cash? You have less cash. Cash is an asset. Assets are on the debit side. They increase on the debit side, they decrease on the credit side. Okay, so we know that our cash needs to decrease, so that's going to be our credit. And then what is the other side of this transaction? Well, the amount that we owe is sitting in the account called accounts payable. If we leave it there, it's going to continue to look like we owe that money, but we don't. So what we need to do is we need to get it out of accounts payable. Accounts payable is a liability. So to increase it, we credited it. So to decrease it, we need to debit it. and that clears it off the books. Now, the second transaction where we're paying for something is that note payable. So let's say we've agreed to make regular payments on that. So when we go to pay the bank their money each month, we're going to be including something other than just principal, because banks don't loan you money just because they're nice. They're going to get interest on that. So that is an expense to us. So just like when we bought anything else, when we paid our rent expense, we're going to have an expense called interest expense. It's always going to be a debit because we're increasing that expense. So we got something. We got the use of the bank's money. So we're going to use an account called interest expense. So we're going to divide this payment out into two different parts. We've got the part that we're paying the bank on the amount that we owe, $600 a month towards that note payable. And on top of that, we've got interest expense of $30. So we want to have our interest expense as a debit. We want to reduce our note payable. Note payable is a liability. We increase it on the credit side. We decrease it on the debit side. So we're going to decrease that liability, that note payable, on the debit side by $600. And then the total amount that's going out for cash, cash is decreasing, so it's on the credit, is $630. So as far as buying things in the chapter 2 journal entry portion of your textbook, that's it. There's no other weird stuff. It's just those transactions. You bought something and you either paid for it when you bought it or you paid for it later. So now let's jump over to the sell bucket. So you're selling something to your customer, or you might be selling an asset like you own a truck and you're going to sell it. But for the most part, for that beginning journal entry chapter, you're going to be selling something to your customers. So you're going to sell them a product or a service, and you're going to get paid either now or later. If you're going to get paid now, your transaction will usually say received cash or customer paid, something along those lines. So let's start with cash. Cash is always a good place to start. What's happening with cash? You sold something to your customer, and what did you get? You got cash. So they're going to give you cash. So we need to increase cash. So cash is an asset. It's on the debit side of the accounting equation. So we increase it by debiting it. Well, now what's our credit going to be? This is a part that messes students up. Well, we're just getting cash. Well, we also have revenue. Revenue is what we're selling to our customers. So we need to track what we've sold to our customers, because that tells us, like, are our sales higher this month than they were last month? This is how we track it. If we want to say, let's increase our revenue by 10% next year, we need to know how much our revenue was this year. So every time you sell to a customer, you've got how they paid, and you'll always have revenue. Revenue is part of equity, and this is a part that can get confusing. Why is it part of equity? Well, let's talk about business value. If you have a business that has revenue, it's more valuable than a business that does not have revenue. So when you have revenue, what it's doing is increasing your value in the business. You have equity, you have more equity. Equity is on the credit side of the accounting equation. So we increase it with a credit. So our transaction when we sell to a customer and they pay us immediately is cash debit to increase cash and a credit to revenue to increase revenue. Now, what if we sell to our customer on account? On account and we haven't gotten paid for it yet. We need to keep track of who owes us money, because we want to go back and make sure that they pay that money, right? So we want to keep it in an account so we can keep track of that. Now, are we going to be paying cash or are we going to be receiving cash? Well, this is money that our customer is going to pay us, so we are receiving cash. Debit side of the accounting equation, we increase it with a debit. And we said revenue is revenue regardless of when you get paid for it. So revenue is going to be our credit. And your revenue account is going to be called different things for different businesses. A lot of accounting textbooks for this chapter call it fees earned. That is a revenue account. It could be service revenue, it could be sales, it could be anything you want to call it, but it's a revenue account. It's what you're selling to your customers. So now we know that our customer owes us money. Well, when they pay that money, which will be another one of your journal entries, they're going to be giving us what? They're going to give us cash. Cash is increasing. Cash is an asset. It's on the debit side of the accounting equation, so it increases on the debit side. What's the other side of this going to be? It's going to be accounts receivable, because right now That transaction is being tracked in the accounts receivable account, and we debited that in the original transaction. Now we need to say this customer no longer owes us that money, so we're going to credit accounts receivable to decrease our asset. All of those transactions fall into 3 buckets. Now, here's one more thing that you can do to make your life a lot easier. Go to accountinghowto.com and get the free accounting cheat sheet, because this is going to have all of the pieces of those first critical 4 chapters of your textbook, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. I'll see you again soon.